We should. I don't.
It sounds like it hurt.
Loosely Lucid is great. I love Loosely Lucid so much.
I do. This is the best podcast ever.
I
have stage fright.
What is this? Our third or fourth ever in-person podcast, something like that.
This is, yes.
It's been literally, there was dust on this equipment when I brought this over. The mixer sill is covered in dust.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just like cartoonishly a long time since because it's been what, 6 months, and it's just like, yep, I'm growing a beard and I'm getting I have to use a cane. It's like, okay, stop being dramatic, bro. But so we're actually back at Ben's place, and what was the address again? So if you want to pay us a visit, you can visit there.
Well, it's more specifically, it's
yeah.
There we go.
Yes. So
and if you want
basically,
to come in, you have to Flynn has to get
his cat. Yeah. You basically, when you get up to the building, you have to walk up, turn right, go into that door, and then turn right again and go into that door.
Yes.
So, and they usually leave it unlocked. I've tried this. They usually leave it unlocked after 8 p.m. but before 11 p.m. So there's your hint.
What does that mean? So it's only unlocked between 8 and 11.
Yeah, like you guys get home and you're like, oh, we're just chilling, so we don't. And it's you're the one that doesn't lock it. I don't know what's in your mind, but I'm assuming you just get home from something.
You know how many times I've gone into your place by doing that exact method? How many? Like 5 times. Oh, yeah. You don't know I'm there though. I mean, I'm usually here walking around. So where do you go? Typically, like I have like a little setup that looks like exactly like my room that I play Roblox in.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you get there from this room?
I can't tell you because then he'll get rid of all of it and then I'll lose my spot.
Oh, it's the guest shower, isn't it? You pull back the bottom panel.
You told them you were not supposed to tell anybody about that.
I saw it when I was taking a shower.
Can you please just not take it down? Can you please not take down? No, it's going down. Why would I? You have a week to move your stuff out. A week?
He has the other secret location though. Behind the microwave.
Fuck. What do you guys think of WWE? I love WWE. In fact, I loved it so much that I took my 2 friends and Ben's wife, who is also my friend, might I add. That made it sound like she just
my 2 bestest friends in the whole wide world.
And Ben's wife. No, I took my 3 friends, Ben, Melody, and Gabe, to the Royal Rumble here in Indianapolis, Indiana, at Lucas Oil Stadium. What did you guys think? Because I obviously you all know what I mean. If you watched Reality of the Twist and you saw my wrestling episodes, you all know what I think about wrestling. But what did you guys think of it?
I always think of it like when you go in expecting more of like a play, like just a very entertaining play with very impressive athletics and like obviously incredibly well choreographed things. It's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. They're very entertaining. That you get into the stories. You really are rooting for somebody, even if you don't know exactly who they are. You're like, I just like them better. So it's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
And then I also took my parents with me as well. My stepmom and my dad. They were very, very. It was very cool to have them there as well. Because it was like about my 2 groups of people that I really go to that I've talked about with wrestling before, like having them both there to kind of like experience that. Because this isn't like a typical wrestling show. Like this is the first event in a 7-year contract Indiana Sports Corp and WWE signed, where they have to host a Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania.
That's incredible.
At Lucas Oil Stadium.
That is incredible.
And if the WrestleMania or what was it, SummerSlam, if those are anything like the Royal Rumble, huge attendance, huge turnout. It was chaotic.
So many. 67,000, and I think that's more than the town I currently live in, Muncie.
And that's more than some nights of WrestleMania too. Wow. Yeah.
That's incredible. Wow.
It's an honor. It is an honor. I'm so glad that Indiana showed up because it showed that we're still a very good hosting town for big sports events. Also the last chance I think Indianapolis had was the Super Bowl in 2012. So yeah. It's very honored to be able to host another thing, and I'm once again I'm glad we got to experience that because that's once in a lifetime, that event.
Getting sentimental on the podcast.
It is. I mean, when's
this old town of ours?
Wow, I'm so proud of us.
Look at how far we've come.
Like, when's the next time you think they're gonna have a Royal Rumble in Indianapolis.
Well, if this one goes well, maybe next year.
Yup, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna do it next year. The same place, same everything.
Indianapolis is just going to become the WWE city.
Yeah,
I'd love
yeah.
that. I would love if it became the WWE city.
We're already the NCAA city because aren't they literally headquartered here?
And we're also the racing capital of the world.
Yeah.
Let's just add more stuff to the list.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're watching the video, and if you're not watching the video, then I'll describe this to you. I'm holding a Big K Cola right now. And what are you gentlemen holding?
I'm holding an original Coca-Cola
Brand beverage, yes.
And I am not. There we go. I'm holding the same thing.
Yeah, so same thing, meaning the Coca-Cola, and I think that just means I'm the designated ugly duckling this episode, unfortunately.
Well, that was by Ben's choice too.
Yeah, yes.
Actually, no. I mean, by definition, that was Gabe's choice because I gave him a choice and he chose the cola.
But when you're holding them behind your back, then that's just gambling, and you forced me into gambling because I didn't say, "Hey, can I choose which one random?" I said, "Surprise me," and then you said, "Oh, what should I give you?" And I said either a Coke or a cola, and then you made me choose, bro. So I gambled and I lost.
Okay, so why are you mad when that was one of the options that you asked for?
To see if you liked me as a friend.
Well, I guess we found out here on Loosely Lucid.
The exclusive hotline tip.
You know when that hotline bling.
That
Ben's
can
not my
only
friend.
be one thing. But yeah, no. Going back though, like, what did you guys feel was like your favorite part of the show last night? Because there was a few that I really liked, but obviously,
I mean, mine. I really enjoyed the. I enjoyed a lot of it, but I think my favorite series of moments was the series of moments at the men's. What was it? The
men's Royal
Rumble.
the men's Royal Rumble, where 30 men come in and compete. And it was like back to back, like some of the
Biggest names.
the biggest superstars of WWE.
Okay, can we mention?
Yeah, we have to address it.
Ben's cat Flynn. Let me just record it so I can edit it in later. Ben's cat Flynn found my bag that I keep my video equipment in. And I want to. Okay, you can't even see him. Okay, now I look like a liar because he's hidden in there so well.
Flynn.
Yeah, I could see his little ears.
Flynn has a thing for bags that Gabe brings.
Yes,
every single bag that Gabe brings, Flynn likes to get inside it and pretend he's hidden and try to hunt people from inside it.
What do you? First of all, how old is Flynn?
I want to say
this seemed like almost a year old.
he's getting closer, but I think he's still probably around like 7 or 8 months.
What do you like about owning a cat? What do you not like about owning a cat?
I like the fact that he's cute and funny, but I don't like the fact that he doesn't want to share that with me. Like he just wants to be cute and funny on his own. He doesn't want me to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I wanna hug him and carry him around and snuggle with him, but he just wants to look at me from a distance. And he does a lot.
Yeah. Maybe that's how he shows his love, is looking at you from a distance.
Yeah, that is a thing. Cats have like slow blinks and whatnot to show affection and everything. So cats are different from dogs. 'Cause dogs are very social animals.
Yeah. When I was growing up, I was absolutely a dog person, and I think I've kind of shifted. I want a cat really bad. Like, I really want a cat.
I'm so different now too because I used to only really have cats growing up. Like my mom would always have cats at her place and whatnot. That'd be the only animal that I would have long term. I did have a dog at my mom's place, but recently, a few months ago, she did pass away.
Oh.
May Zoe rest in peace. But then recently, my dad, of all people, got 2 French bulldogs with my stepmom, and their names are Milo and Carlene. They're very, very cute.
Very,
I
very
love them.
puppies.
They're awesome. And now I'm just like, I love dogs a little bit more now than I do cats.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, but it's also because I've never had a dog for so long. I've had cats for so long, which I think is why, Gabe, you're saying that you're more of a cat person.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just because they're so silly and they kind of do their own thing, but they still love you. It's just fun. It's fun. And they're little goofballs and they're little characters. And dogs are just like, yeah, I actually love you. And that's their entire personality trait, which is amazing and wonderful. And they're smart and funny, but like cats are just a little bit more personalities.
Yeah, I feel like dogs are the ones who are funny and silly and goofy on purpose.
Yeah.
Then cats are the ones who are silly and goofy without knowing.
Yeah, and and when they do know that they're silly, they're desperately trying to hide it, and they get embarrassed by it because they have big egos for little animals.
They are. But anyway, though, back to we keep going back to the Royal Rumble. The 30-man Royal Rumble. Ben, you were saying.
Yeah, there was just a series where like all the big superstars came out. You've got John Cena, CM Punk,
Yep.
Seth Rollins.
Yes.
Logan Paul.
Logan
Paul!
We forget Logan.
Logan Paul took out CM Punk. That was crazy.
That pissed
I
me
have
off.
never seen Dylan more heartbroken and just gutturally devastated.
If you are a
than when
wrestling,
that happened.
if you are a wrestling fan who has been watching WWE, AEW for years, you'll and if you like CM Punk, you will know how important CM Punk is to many wrestling fans.
I don't even watch wrestling, but I was pissed. I was pissed when that happened. It's like, of course he did.
He calls himself the best in the world because he truly is the best in the world.
But he's not better than Logan Paul.
I guess not. He's not better than Logan Paul, which is stupid, and that's why, like, literally, I wish someone recorded it. I screamed.
Yeah, that was I think the most devastated I've ever seen you in my entire life.
See, because he could have been eliminated by anybody. He
But it
got
had to be,
eliminated
yeah.
by Logan Paul.
Which I mean, they do that on purpose. They absolutely
they
want to make
100%
you as
do.
pissed as possible.
It's all the storytelling and whatnot.
Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't lead to CM Punk and Logan Paul at WrestleMania because that's such a waste of
oh my god.
talents. But anyway, I'm getting off. No.
Yep.
No. Flynn, please don't click any buttons on my laptop.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now he wants to get the light.
Yep.
This is the first time we've ever recorded the podcast around an animal.
Yes.
So
Flynn, okay, he's doing it on purpose. He's like, oh, what's this? What are all these buttons and knobs? What if I actually
Did
just?
you not know that he loves to sit on Melody's laptop?
I know, but I didn't think he would be this fast. We've been recording for 12 minutes. Okay. And now he's interested. Flynn,
stepping directly
can
on
we
Gabe's
bring the-
mixer.
Can we bring the goober up here?
Hey, buddy.
What do you want to say?
Oh, what do you guys say?
What do you guys say?
I
I was hoping you'd. Okay. Yeah. Or I'll stop, Flynn. It stopped recording. It actually stopped recording.
No, it didn't.
Oh, okay.
He just.
He just took a snipping tool screenshot. Okay. Put that in. Editing me. That's what Flynn did by himself. Was that? I don't even know how he did
And
that.
now he's off doing his intros. Oh, well. Yeah, I get it now. He's just silly. He's just silly.
And he doesn't know it. And he thinks that he's exploring and being an investigator, but he's just being a goof and messing things up.
I feel very incredibly comfortable right now.
I know.
You
I'm
guys
so
feel that?
cozy. I wish you guys could record me in that spot because
Yeah.
Ben had all the blankets and pillows on me. I was like, okay, I could go to sleep right now. I
Just
could go
like-
to sleep.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, that couch is really comfy. First of all, that chair, the lighting, the where we are in the city,
Yeah.
all the natural light coming in, to sit next to my pals. I feel very, very comfortable
On a Sunday afternoon.
on a Sunday
sharing some
afternoon.
Cokes.
Yep. Mine's a cola. So I'm not your
We were
friend. You're
doing
sharing
so
Cokes.
well.
You're sharing
Anyway.
Cokes.
Now
with
I'm
each
not
other.
comfortable anymore, and I feel like I'm in danger and people don't like me. I want to go home.
Okay. Anyway, though, going back to the wrestling topic, so we don't keep it going on burping. Like that's gonna stop anything. Yeah, no, it was just heartbreaking seeing Logan Paul of all people eliminate CM Punk, and I think the biggest thing, John Cena not winning the Royal Rumble because
What? I didn't see it yet. Don't spoil.
Look what you did.
Spoilers.
I'm sorry. I'm
Spoilers,
sorry.
I guess.
I didn't-
Spoilers. 30
didn't-
seconds ago.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean for it to be that bad.
But seriously, continue. So.
No. For those who don't know, this year is John Cena's final year of wrestling. So after this year, he is retiring for good, and he'll never step foot in a ring to fight again. And a lot of people are saying like, oh, he's going to win the Royal Rumble, so that way he can win his 17th world title and break the record for most world championships held. And now, for right now, that dream is shattered. So
Yeah, but isn't it still like just amazing that Indianapolis hosted the last Royal Rumble that John Cena will ever
that's
be
a
in?
huge honor.
So does he have any chance at going to WrestleMania now?
So that's the thing. In the press conference afterwards, John Cena said he was going to put himself, or say he is going into the Elimination Chamber next month, which is another way of getting a championship match at WrestleMania.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I bet that's what they're going to do then. I feel like they're going to send him off in not a whimpering, but a very big, grand way, personally.
Yeah, I hope they do. He deserves a world. Like I said, yeah, I think he deserves that. But also at the same time, the person who did win the Royal Rumble, Jey Uso, was a complete underdog for winning it. Nobody predicted it, and I think he deserves that as well. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate anybody that won, really.
It's just like for me, it was just like a lot of people that I wanted to win didn't win stuff.
You know who I really didn't like at the Royal Rumble?
The people behind you?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
They at one point one of them spit on my neck twice.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to be stereotypical, but like it was just wrestling fans. It was just WWE wrestling.
No, wrestling fans have a problem. They like I will say, as a wrestling fan, like who is not a drunk slob who is just irritating.
Yeah.
There's problems with wrestling fans.
Shall we go over the sandwich?
Yes, of course we could go over.
This
the
is what clued us in, I think.
So the first like 10 minutes of the show, the Women's Royal Rumble's happening. It's the first match. You know, it's so obviously, you know, you can already know first off, oh, women in wrestling, oh, time to hamina. So I don't see it that way. I see it as very talented professionals wrestling, but there was a move that they were doing at some point with like a few of the women in the ring where it's like they're all sandwiched together in the turnbuckle or whatever. And I made the comment of, oh man, it's a sandwich there. And some guy behind me who sounded like he was
So
six
drunk.
shots in
yeah,
was
he
like,
said it exactly in this tone.
he just said it like, I like the sandwich.
But he said it more. He didn't say it like he was tired. He said, "I like the sandwich," and the thing is, the move wasn't even sexual. What could that move have been?
I don't
And
know. I don't
I like when the women lay on top of each other. Okay,
Yeah.
5-year-old. Like,
Yeah, and there was another similar incident where like one of them jumped on the other one's shoulders, so like her crotch was like kind of to the other woman's face, and the guy directly behind me goes, "Do that to me." Do that to me.
yeah, nobody laughed the first time, so he said it again, and then nobody laughed again.
Well, it's kind of like people don't find those jokes funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So male wrestling fans, just all around, are very obnoxious people if they are multiple drinks in and are uncontrolled. It's kind of similar to like Philly fans, Philadelphia Eagle fans.
Ooh,
Yeah.
big shot.
They are I will say this, and I'll get hunted down if I ever go into Philadelphia, but they are the worst football fans ever.
I would say Colts fans are kind of assholes too.
I don't know. Well, but Colts fans don't like assault people for stuff and tear apart their city if their team doesn't
Yes,
win.
but I'm just saying I will never forgive Indianapolis for luck.
I
that
mean, I
was
agree.
So embarrassing.
I agree.
That was so
we're
embarrassing.
like Colts fans could definitely be disrespectful, but we're not that disrespectful.
Valid.
I think
like
I don't like Titans fans personally.
Really? See, I don't even think about the Titans.
I'm surprised Titans have fans. Is my thing.
I don't even think about them. So it's just I don't know anything about Titans. What do they do?
They're really really big on like penalties. They're very aggressive. They're very rough. They get a lot of those calls, and I think their fan base has kind of a similar attitude of just like aggression and like
Yeah.
they're kind of like in my opinion they're kind of just like the high school bully team,
Yeah. Yeah.
even though they're not very good, but
Yeah.
they're still kind of like that.
So a bully that didn't even earn it.
Yeah, they're crazy fans. Football is a crazy world.
But you know what's not crazy?
What?
Today's
Two
sponsor.
team-
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You should be. you
I'm
should
sorry.
be.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go, please.
No,
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. Who is today's sponsor? Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
so insightful.
What's not crazy is the two teams going up against each other in the 2025 Super Bowl, the Chiefs and the Eagles.
I could care less. I could literally. I would rather go and knit a scarf for 4 hours than have to
really
sit myself and enjoy a Chiefs and Eagles Super Bowl again. It's so boring. It's so boring. And like all of us deep down knew it was coming too.
Yeah.
We all knew it was coming, but we were just like, okay, we can't do anything about it. We can't do anything. And now it's going to be like the Chiefs are going to win because they're it's scripted. Like once again, as a wrestling fan, I will tell you right now, football. If someone told me, yeah, no, did you hear it's scripted? I'd be like, yeah, that's true. It's true. I believe it.
Yep.
I believe it.
The thing is, it is really hard to script. It's one thing to script wrestling moves between two players, or in a Royal Rumble 30 players, but usually there's only 2 or 3 going at each other at the same time. But to do entire teams with so many variables, that's the part. The only way I could see that they'd script it is with penalties.
That's what I feel like.
Okay. I feel like refs can be bought.
Okay.
Refs can definitely be favored by they call it New York in football, like the corporate offices. I feel like they can be definitely swayed by them because they're like, because literally you see it in the commercials. Who is the face of every single commercial during football games?
Yep.
Patrick fucking Mahomes.
Yep.
Doritos, State Farm, whatever else. I know he's for T-Mobile. Like he is literally face of so many brands right now.
Yeah, I feel like you could be watching a Colts versus Jags game, and they would be talking about Patrick Mahomes more than like Shane Steichen.
I think Dylan and I have done that before, right?
Have done what?
We were watching a different game, and they still mentioned.
Oh yes,
yes. And it's like, okay, I get it. And the fact that Taylor Swift is just so perfect. It's just so perfect that like, oh, we have the guys, but how are we going to get the girls to be into football too?
And now you got Taylor Swift. I mean, that's live, but it's like they've got the clue in that Taylor Swift was dating Travis, and they're like, let's get her up in the games every single time at Chiefs Stadium. Let's have her have a camera on her all the time. Let's do this. Let's do that.
I mean, it's very smart. If it was intentional, it's very smart, but it's boring. It's just boring.
It's just so boring.
It makes sense because the Chiefs are the Taylor Swift of football.
Yep.
So yeah,
claim.
Taylor Swift is just like the Chiefs of music.
Yep.
Taylor
Swift is the Chiefs.
Literally. And if you wanted a wrestling comparison, the Chiefs and that whole story angle right there with like the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs, that is the equivalent of like Hulk Hogan coming in and being like, I'm the American superstar, brother. I'm going to win the world championship, brother.
Yeah.
That is the equivalent of what the Chiefs are right now. And it's like, I could care less to see a 50-year-old Hulk Hogan win a championship.
Isn't he kind of a jackass too?
Yes. People do not like him. He is a very in the community. Back before his current issues right now, he was called out because he was making racist comments about his daughter's boyfriend.
Naturally.
So yeah, like very racist comments. And then he was fired from WWE. They kept bringing him back. And now he's sponsoring WWE with his beer company.
What's his beer company?
Hulk Hogan, Real American Beer.
Okay, I'm just so stupid. I'm actually just so stupid. That's annoying.
Yeah, it's probably not good beer either. I wouldn't know, but
yeah.
What else about the wrestling did you guys like, if there's anything?
I liked the lighting. Those people that I was thinking about that. And on the last episode, I don't know if it's coming out. Please, Flynn, no. I don't know if the last episode's coming out, but I talked about how like it's so weird to think that everybody has jobs and like there's such specific jobs and how do people get these jobs. At Luke, I was unable to stop thinking about like, okay, who like designed the lighting setup? Who designed where like how to how the lights are even like put up? Who designed all of this? Who's in charge of this? And it was very impressive, but it's just so behind the scenes. Yeah, Flynn. For our listeners, Flynn just made his big move and he ran across my legs.
It hurt.
Did it?
he like went through one of my legs and over the other, and I think maybe his head or like his knee or something hit my shin.
Hi, Flynn. Dylan, can you see how long we have? I don't have my glasses on.
We're at 26 minutes on the camera.
Okay.
It's like 4 more minutes or whatever.
Yep, and then I'll have to restart it. But yeah, so yeah, the lighting was incredible. I think Lucas Oil itself was beautiful. I always loved going there. Did I say something funny, bro?
It wasn't you.
What happened?
I did this. I went.
Yeah.
He started laughing.
Yep. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you did the face. You did.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't even know.
On the new podcast, we're not going to do any visual stuff. We're not going to do any inside jokes. We're not going to.
I wasn't doing anything.
I know. I get it. I'm the one who did it, but I wasn't the one who went.
Okay, but you tried to make somebody laugh and then got mad when they laughed, bro.
You're trying to make Mr. Giggle
No,
shit.
no, 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 no. Okay, he's unprofessional.
You're making Mr. Giggle shits laugh, and he's laughing. Like,
I
congratulations.
didn't think that would actually get you to audibly laugh. I thought you might go.
That's an audible laugh still.
I thought you would smile it off.
I'm not in the mind state to just shove it off
So funny.
or shake it off.
Shake it off. Shake it off.
hate that song.
I shake. What do you hate it?
Song's
What do you
so
hate
bad because it was played 3 times every morning on the way to school. And it was all for me.
Yeah.
That song, the All About That Bass song,
I hated that song.
Timber even.
Oh,
Yeah,
Timber
I
was
also
bad.
hate the one that Taylor Swift did with that one guy from Panic in the Brendan Urie. I hate that one too.
What was that song?
Can't spell awesome without me. That one, the corny ass one.
Oh, I don't think I've heard that.
Yes, you have.
Man,
You. Flynn wanted to give his solo.
So the three bits of information you give us about the song is can't spell awesome without me.
I don't know. I don't know.
You guys have heard the song.
I'm sure if I hear it, I'll be like, yeah. I know
I'm
what
the
you're
only one for
talking about.
you. Phone for you. You're the only one for me, or something like that.
No, it's not getting any clearer. It's getting
And
more
I promise
foggy.
that you'll never find another like me. That one.
Oh, yeah, no, I vaguely remember it now.
Okay. Actually, Ben, did you know he can lie? Because he's fucking lying right now, actually. Because how could he not know that song?
I'm trying to be on your side and you're turning me away.
I need more information because I don't understand. I don't know.
I think it's literally just called Me.
Well, I don't listen to Panic at the Disco or Taylor Swift. So
Yeah, but it played everywhere. Let me see. Taylor Swift, Brendan, Me. Yeah.
Yep.
You've never heard
I've
this
heard
song
this.
before?
Yes.
genuinely no.
You've never heard that.
Wow.
If I have no reason to lie about this.
That's
don't know
actually crazy. That's actually crazy. That's
You avoided
how
it.
many
Congrats.
streams does that song have? Let me see.
At least 7.
Yep. At least 7. It doesn't tell me. So actually never mind. But yeah.
Stop talking about Taylor Swift now.
Okay. Well,
Yep.
you're the one getting mad. You're the one getting mad right now. You're okay. Okay.
And the steam's gone. And all steam is gone. Can we stop talking about Taylor Swift? Okay, you're the okay.
We were doing so good, and then you had to just be here. You just had to be me.
Can we talk about that for a second? How you guys fucking hate each other for some reason?
Yeah, we could talk about it. So, do we want to start the story of like where it all began, our hatred for each other?
Just say it so casually.
Bro
too.
is not paying attention to
Where do
me.
we start with how the fact that we hate each other?
It's just because it's a story we could tell.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can talk about it if I can say it from my point of view.
Yeah.
Sure, sure. We'll speak from each of our point of views.
Okay. So
Oh, camera.
Sorry if you saw nothing but a black screen or a picture of Flynn.
Or the Florida. Never mind. Okay. Anyway, but continue the story.
Yeah, so the reason if we cut it out, the reason that Ben and Dylan hate each other, and they hate each other all the time.
So it all started. I don't remember where we were at. I'm thinking it was probably. I think it was actually at.
Make sure it's still recording.
He did another print screen, didn't he?
He somehow clicked the exact same button he did before. And he okay, continue.
So we were at one of our places, and Dylan was a little bit inebriated, and I don't remember exactly what led up to it, but I just remember minding my business, having fun with my friends, looking around the room at all the people that I love and enjoy being around. And all of a sudden, I make eye contact with Dylan, and he just goes, "Why are you looking at me?" Me confused, go, "I don't know. I just looked at you. I'm sorry." And then that continued to happen like 10 more times that night. He would just look at me until I made eye contact and go, "Okay, why are you looking at me? He keeps looking at me, guys."
But I think you also started to do it on purpose.
Yeah, I did, because
So I was just so innocently, I just loved my friends and I just wanted to be with my friends and spend time with my friends. I also wanted to stare at Dylan. Yup.
I fed into it because it kept happening, and I thought it would be funny.
And it was funny, but take it from my point of view now. So whenever you're high, you're a little bit like on edge. Still, you're having fun, but like your senses are a little bit heightened, and you think there's other stuff going on in the world around you. And in that case, if you feel like people are looking at you, you're more keen to that. So whenever I see the direction of your face looking at me, even if you're not making eye contact, you're still in the area of what I think you're looking at me. And so the chance I looked at you, I saw you looking at me with your eyes. And so I made the call out, "Why are you looking at me?"
As opposed to looking at it with your nose.
Dylan, can I ask you one question about this entire thing?
Sure.
Why me?
I know. I was going to say, like, because I'm sure I looked at you too.
I'm sure that Gabe looked at you. I'm sure that everybody else in the room
different.
looked at
It's
you.
different because I'm purely just high. You guys have like alcohol in your system, which is different. For me, like I said, like Gabe could even vouch for this, where it's just like you're a little bit more heightened aware of your surroundings and whatnot. And it's like, it could have been anybody. You're just the one person that was doing it to me. Even if because you're just like in my own general view of range. Because Gabe was like, I feel like Gabe was like more off behind me, and some other people were like, in that same area as well. And you're just like, if everyone else is right here, you're at the edge. And so if I'm looking this way, trying to just, mind my own business, it's like you're right there. And I look over, "Why are you looking at me?"
So where did it go from there? Because I don't really know.
hate for you because you kept denying it and saying that you're a line and you're full of crap, Dylan.
Because you thought he looked at you and he denied it. You hate him. You hate him.
Going
because
forward
he
from
was
that
looking at me in that moment. I know he was looking at me because I saw his eyes looking at me.
So you hate him.
I don't hate him. It's how he reacted that made me hate him.
So you hate him, bro. So because he was looking at you,
all this drama
him.
could have been stopped if he was just like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to look at you." He didn't say that. He was like, "You're overreacting. You're being dramatic. You're being stupid." And then I reacted accordingly by being mean to him, and he kept being mean to me. So it's never been.
I kept being mean to you.
You literally said you kept pushing me on and kept looking at me because you thought it was funny.
Oh my God.
Okay, but my question is, and it's not against you even. This question isn't against you. It's just in general. After that night, why didn't it end? Why didn't going forward from that night?
Because I think
just
then it just became
power.
funny to hate each other at that point.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
think
a
that's
joke.
true. We realized in that moment that if we just yell at each other and get mad at each other, it gets
funnier. It gets funnier every time.
But basically any time that we have an argument, 90% of the time it's between me and Dylan. I have to say.
And like on the front, it's fake, but I'm starting to wonder if there's some real seeds of hatred.
I truly, I cannot hate this man. Truly,
No, I don't hate you either.
He bought it. Hey, he loves you.
Yeah. The poor people tuning into Loosely Lucid.
Yeah. So, hey, let's check out this new podcast. I loved Reality with a Twist. Okay, but if they loved Reality with a Twist, first of all,
they know what they're getting.
They know what
themselves
they're
into.
getting themselves
They know
into.
exactly what they're getting themselves into if they watch this fucking podcast before. Disregard all of this.
if you do have a complaint, take it to Ben. Two. So apartment. So take it to him.
Unit.
Unit. Yes.
But yeah, no, it's just that he keeps being mean to me, and then that's why I don't like him.
Yeah. Okay. To put you ended that like a first grader ends their short story. And in conclusion, he hates me, so I don't like him. Or he looked at me, so I don't like him. Yeah, that's put a cherry right on top of that one, bro.
Also, we finished talking about that. We moved on topics, and then you ended a different topic with, and that's why I hate Ben.
Yeah, I also don't like that.
I hope you enjoyed reading.
It's ableist, that's why I don't like
So we're
it.
going to bring
Yep,
ableist into
yep,
this.
yep, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
It's true though. You said you are.
We did. Did you see that we did the exact same thing with our hands? Because what he said, you just have to naturally do that.
For the record, I never said anything ableist or admitted to being an ableist. Dylan's just lying because he hates me, and he admitted that.
But you did admit to abusing Flynn. I do remember that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay, he didn't do that. I'm kidding. It was a bit.
So what else can we talk about here in terms of? Oh yeah, did you guys Lucas Oil Stadium parking? Very chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, yeah, they kind of dropped the ball a little bit. The city did a good planning with like the interstates, and once you got maybe a few hundred yards away from Lucas Oil, they did good. They had all that covered. But
If
right
you were
next to Lucas Oil,
Yeah, if you're next to it or inside of it, it is like every man and woman for themselves.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't park in the Lucas Oil Stadium parking lot, then you're screwed.
Yep.
Like, yeah, no, it was bad. And then I saw a TikTok video just before we started recording of someone going like, "Yep, the state of Indiana just left us all here. There's no way we could get Ubers. There's nothing working. Well, shame on you, Indiana. You're the worst city to host." And I was just like, you didn't plan for a $67,000 attendance event.
Yeah.
That maybe it'd be busier.
The highest attendance Royal Rumble in history. And a little city like Indianapolis. And he was like, yeah, they'll have me taken care of. They'll actually carry me to my home.
Yeah, because people expected to walk out of the biggest Royal Rumble in history and then just have an Uber waiting for them.
Yeah. That's what he was complaining about. No Ubers were there to pick him up. And he was waiting right outside the
And literally,
fucking
there's comments saying like you walk 2 blocks and then you call one again, and sure enough, they'll come pick you up.
Yep.
They're not going to go to the center of it because it's all blocked off.
Yep. Ridiculous.
So yeah,
Did you just want to scoot away from me because you hate me? That's what you gave
That
me
means he
regular
loves me.
cola.
That means it's
You
forgiven. The
kept me
beef's-
from Coke. You're scooting away from me.
the beef skiing cure between Ben and I.
Yeah, I actually hate him now. I hate you. I'm kidding. Don't worry. That was just a joke.
And there goes all the steam again.
Can we be the nice podcast?
All right, I'm going back to the nice pod.
Yeah. Yeah, let's be nice to each other. We again, we mentioned this in a podcast that may or may not come out. We don't know yet. But we have been too mean to each other. We've already banned odds in real life, like not on the episodes. We do for a while, and I don't think I can overstate how big of an issue this was. Every sentence that would come out of our mouth was, "What are the odds you fart? What are the odds you trip and fall? What are the odds you shoot somebody?" It's like the things were like there wasn't even a purpose for saying them other than just making somebody go, "Okay."
It was all to incite a reaction.
Yeah, it was just reaction, and then half of the words coming out of our mouths would be 3, 2, or 1, and it was just it was not fun.
And then if it did hit, we would us go, I rescind
an odds. Yeah, because rescinding isn't even a part of the game. If you know the game, that's not even a rule. You can't do that, by the way. That's just cheating. And then, or we do an IOU, meaning that we can decide a different odds later. Again, not a part of the game. So I don't know. Yeah.
And like even going further back, we did make it a big problem. It became really bad for us. But just going further back, the past several years, most of what we do when we all get together as a friend group, we just do odds. We in the house, out of the house, at the store, anywhere we go, we're just there to ask each other odds. That's all we do. That's all we conversate about.
Yep.
Yeah. Can you believe there was a time in our lives where odds were foreign to us and we just did things because we wanted to do them? And yeah,
it's a cult. And we've been describing it as late stage odds, and now we're in the collapse of odds. So we're trying to get a control over it and just not do them for a while.
Yeah.
So we're gonna still do them on the episodes probably, but just not in real life. We got to get away from that.
And you know what? We were downtown today. We were trying to figure out where to get lunch, And thinking about it a
That
little
was a
bit
whole
more,
story. That was the whole story of getting lunch today was a
we'll get into that in a second. But I think part of the reason we were all very indecisive about where we wanted to go and this and that. I think part of the reason for that is a lot of what we do is driven by odds.
Yeah.
Well, we have to actually go in this direction because we have to go to this store to do an odds thing.
Yeah.
We lost an odds that we have to say this to the Burger King employee. So I think removing odds just kind of made us be like, what do we do in life?
And you know what we replaced odds with was, I almost said an odds, guys. I almost said an odds.
Yeah.
And then we wait for somebody to say, what was it? And we'd be like, yes. And then we'd get to say it.
And
so
then
it
get
was
the same reaction.
Yeah, we'd get the same reaction. So it was just
the
cheating.
dopamine hit.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was just a dopamine hit. It was just a dopamine hit. It's really bad. It's really, really bad.
Like, no, literally, like, it sounds like you guys only hear what happens in the podcast, and those are just like a fraction of it. Cameras turn off. We get any little bit inebriated. Well, yeah, what do you I don't want to. I hate you.
Yep.
Do you want to? Who wants to tell the lunch story?
Okay, I
That was
mean,
a long.
I think all of us have a part to share in it. So first thing is that we went to the Royal Rumble Superstore today because I wanted to pick up a John Cena shirt for that. It's like exclusive. It says it's his last Royal Rumble. You know, might as well get one. We leave there. We're figuring out lunch. We walk past Chicken Scratch and Steak and Shake. And this is just going to dwell back into Ben and I hating each other. But
I would like to say, as we walked past Chicken Scratch, Ben said out loud, something smells really good. It kind of smells like chicken. And I looked up and I see the sign Chicken Scratch. I'm like, oh, I think
yeah,
that's what
so
it
we
is.
kept it in the mind. And then we were leaving the convention center where the Superstore was. We were talking, like, okay, so what do we want to get to eat? And we were like, okay, let's try to do something cheap because, you know, all on a budget. It's not, you know, we could find something. And the options were Steak and Shake and Chicken Scratch. And Ben was like, okay, which one's like, you know, the cheap meal? I was like, oh, probably Steak and Shake because, you know, they're infamous for having cheap burgers, fries, whatever.
And we said out loud, we said, well, how about these two options? Chicken Scratch or Steak and Shake? No response from him. No response from Ben. We were just like, oh, Steak and Shake. I could do either. And then you continued.
Yeah, so like I said, but like Ben was like making everything like, let's try to do something cheap. And since I didn't know the prices of Chicken Scratch, we'll get to more later. I was like, okay, Steak and Shake, yeah, that's the cheap meal. Let's go ahead and do Steak and Shake. That's a bad choice.
That's a bad choice. I don't want Steak and Shake.
I hate Steak and Shake actually.
So we had two options of which he didn't have an opinion until we chose one, and we made the wrong choice. Naturally.
Let me say something. Why were the two options Steak and Shake?
Because we walked past.
We walked past them. They were very close to us, and we knew that they would be relatively cheap. And you said Chicken Scratch smelled good as you walked past.
And then after you hated Steak and Shake, you're
Yes.
like, oh, maybe Chicken Scratch, maybe they're chicken scratch.
Yeah.
And then the analogy he used next was saying,
No.
all right, think of this. Let's say which one would you rather have, bad Raising Cane's or bad McDonald's?
That was I don't understand the analogy either, viewer. I don't know what he was
either.
trying to get at, but that's what he was trying. How he was trying to defend him,
No.
saying that but that just means that he didn't like either, but he still didn't say anything.
You guys don't get it. I
don't get it.
I don't understand at all.
I wasn't comparing Chicken Scratch to Bad Raisin Cane's. I was just naming two random restaurants and putting bad in front of it because that's what it sounded like when you said the two options are Chicken Scratch and Steak and Shake.
So you're saying that both sounded bad.
And only because Steak and Shake, yes, it's cheap, but I didn't want Steak and Shake. It didn't sound good. Two Chicken Scratch, smelled good, but it was really expensive, so I didn't want to do that.
But you didn't know it was
that.
expensive at the time.
I assumed because it was a local chicken
You
restaurant.
didn't make
downtown
it sound like it was that because you said no to Steak and Shake.
I'm glad we didn't. Sorry, just a quick aside. I'm glad we didn't go to Chicken Scratch because they had that stupid fucking Cybertruck out in front. Oh my god!
If you drive a Cybertruck, I just why did you buy a Cybertruck? There is better trucks you can buy that are more practical than a Cybertruck.
I think they look cool, but I wouldn't get one.
I think they look ugly, and they're made by an ugly person inside and out. And I hate them. I hate.
Yeah. But anyway, though, so once we got the whole hurdle of Chicken Scratch and Steak and Shake, which we found out he didn't want either. So we went to the next thing that we talked about. We went to Wingstop.
I'm just realizing this sounds like parents with a child. So the little guy didn't want either. I'm not saying you're acting like one. I'm just saying the way we're telling the story makes it sound like you're a kid.
Okay, I just don't like the fact that the two options were picked without me having any consideration.
Why?
When I didn't like them, you guys got mad that I
Why
didn't
didn't
like them.
you give us an option, bro?
Because you guys, no, I'm not feeding into it. Continue, Dylan. I'm not feeding into it.
Oh my god.
Why did you?
Okay, bro's bad. Okay, bro's bad.
Continue the story. Continue the story. Yep.
Okay.
So once we get all past all that, we finally came to an agreement on Wingstop. And I'll admit, this one was more of a mess up on, well, I would say, like, all our ends, because we didn't really fully take into account that, oh yeah, there might not be seating instead of Wingstop.
It was a tiny wing stop.
It was a tiny Wingstop. So when we got there, it's like, because we kind of wanted to like sit down and eat. We were like, okay, let's actually not do Wingstop. And so we left, and then we were trying to figure out, okay, what do we do now? And there's like more to this part of the story, like, on my, like, yeah, there's more to this story, but like then we chose this one place called the
Amp.
The Amp. Yes. And it's like a food market, like a food like store that like has a bunch of little vendors or whatever that are local that serve their own stuff. And we're like, okay, yeah, no, that sounds great. Ben is like, yeah, no, it's really nice. I've been there before.
All right, let's go to the. And he said, "Do you guys want to go to the Amp?" And he started turning left and right. So I was like, "Okay, this guy knows where he's going." And we're like, "Yeah, let's go." And he's like, "Okay, can somebody bring it up on maps?" And I was like, "Oh, I thought you knew where it was." So I brought up maps and I looked up Amp, and there are two options. I said, "Ben, do you know if it's Amp or the Amp Marketplace or whatever?" He was like, I don't know that. I just realized there's two of them and they're on opposite sides of town, and I don't know which one I went to. I was like, do you remember what general direction it was in? He said, no.
I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that crazy what you just said.
Bro said, "Oh yeah, no, I've been there before. It has really great food. I just don't know which one is which. I just don't know."
Do you remember what it looks like? No. Do you remember where he said? We said, "Do you remember what general direction?" He said, "It's either this way or this way," pointing two opposite directions.
Okay, let me take over for a second. I wanted to go to the Amp, and I suggested, "Hey guys, what do you think about this place?" And Gabe was like, "Yeah, that sounds great." So I start heading north because I know that it's kind of in the near north side area. I don't know if it's on the east side or the west side of it, but I know it's up there somewhere. So I start heading that way, and I say, "Can somebody pull up directions?" And Gabe's like, "Oh, I thought you knew where it was." Okay, whatever. And then he pulled up directions. Okay, sounds good. We're heading that way. And then he goes, "Okay, so is it the Amp or is it Amp?" I'm not sure. Could you look into it? You don't know what it is? You're stupid. You're stupid. You're stupid.
Well, because Gabe was trying to be like,
But he said, I think there's actually two amps, and I think they're both something to do with food. I swear to God, he said this.
say that.
I swear to God, he said this. And then I'm like, okay, which one is it? If they're both have food, and he's like, no, one's art and one's food. And I was like, okay.
No. That's not what I said. I asked him if he could just look into it because he's the one who's not driving. He's on his phone. He has access to the internet.
so here's the thing where
I'm talking. Please let me finish.
Yeah, give Ben a chance to redeem himself, or like clear his name, I should say. And then Ben's stupid and he's bad.
I'm sorry.
So I'm like, okay, you have access to the internet. Could you look at it, like check out the website and see if one of them is food and one of them is like for paintings or something? Because I don't know what the other amp is. One of them could be not food related. So I say, hey kid, could you look into it, please? And he's like, but you said it was this way. You don't know which direction it is. You're stupid. Am I wrong for being behind the wheel and not knowing all of the information about the amp? I just wanted him to help me out.
There's
he didn't
one
want to.
thing. There's one thing that you are leaving out, and you're going to say this is a lie, but I swear to God you did this. We were heading north. I asked him if he knew what general direction it was in, and he said, no. And he said, it's either this way, pointing further north, or this way, pointing south. Swear to
I saw it.
to the sun, God.
Now you're chip. Oh, I thought the chair was a person. Sorry, I thought the chair behind it.
Okay, so let's not trust this guy. No. He pointed north and then south after just saying, I have no idea what direction it's in. Because I asked verbatim, do you have any idea what general direction it is? No! And then once we get there, he's like, yeah, I knew it was kind of on the north side. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling it was on the north side. Say that!
The thing that got me though is that Gabe was just asking, oh yeah, so there's two of them. Like, can I just have like the general like vibe of like what the place looked like so that way I know immediately which one's which? And you're like, I don't know what it looks like. I actually don't know what it is.
I don't think that's what I said. I think you're the one with the phone. You can look and you can see, but he didn't want
I've
to.
never been to it, so I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, this is the amp.
Well, it might tell you if you looked at the website.
Yep. You know what else it would have told me?
If it was open or
if
not.
it was open or not, because again, on Google Maps, I clicked AMP, I clicked the right one, and it said, oh, it's usually not too busy this time. It closes at 4. And we get there. It was maybe a 15-minute drive, 10-minute drive.
Yeah, 10-minute drive.
So not too bad. And it's completely empty. And we go up, and sure enough, the doors are locked. And I look again on Google, the same website that makes the maps, the same company that makes maps. And it's like, okay, you're stupid. It's closed on Sunday, dumbass. You're stupid for thinking it's open. And it's like, okay. So all of that just to try some local restaurants was for absolutely nothing, bro. Because it was like, yes, it's open. Go. You're free. You're stupid. Why'd you go? Why'd you trust me? Why'd you go? Yeah. Okay.
That was still, we laughed so much, or I was laughing so much at the whole thing.
The drive there.
Yes.
So, okay, Gabe, can I ask you something?
Go. Yes.
Why were you repeatedly trying to extract information about the amp from me when you had your phone and you could click on them?
Because when you look up amp on Google, it says the amp marketplace, amp with parentheses, amp. There's like 4 different amp options. I knew the bottom one weren't it because they weren't in like Indianapolis. One was on Alabama Street and one was on this random other road on kind of the northwest side. So there were 2 that didn't have many pictures about them. Were both stylized in a way where I believe that they're maybe like a local restaurant thing. So I'm like, okay, they're both called Amp. They're both in Indianapolis. They're both something big. Like they're both something. They're nothing I've ever heard of. Maybe I can try to suss out some information from the guy who's been like, yeah, I've been there before. How dare I? How dare I ask the guy who's been there before which one seems more right?
Because like if you ask me like, oh yeah, like because I talked to you guys about a Vietnamese restaurant I've been to before. If I said it has like a pretty generic name, if you guys asked me like, oh, there's like 2 of the same place that are in like the area that you live in, can you tell me which one? I'd be able to tell you what the visuals of the building looked like because I have been there before and I ate there.
Whatever.
Moral of the story is we got Wendy's.
Yes, we got Wendy's.
We didn't even get food from that place because it was closed.
When in doubt, get Wendy's.
It was fine Wendy's except for the saucy nugs you got.
Yeah, I mean, I got the saucy nugs. They were okay. I mean, they're just chicken nuggets bathing in barbecue sauce, which fine.
I think it segues into a great topic I want to talk about is just how this like trend of fast food where it's just like, here's the saucy version where we dump everything in sauce and it's tasty and yummy. Because it's not just Wendy's. I was trying to think of other places. Chili's, the triple dipper, they have like honey barbecue glazed or not glazed, honey barbecue saucy like cheese pull, like like the cheese mozzarella strips or whatever. And it's like, who is eating that? Who's eating that? It'd be like, oh, this is so yummy and delicious.
I think it might be partially a marketing thing because a sauce, it's like it can taste like anything. There's sauces that taste like anything, and you can make it a secret ingredient thing. Only we have this sauce. We made this sauce, and it's the most delicious sauce in the world. So like Raising Cane's, they have cane sauce, which is at its core just mayo, ketchup, and Worcestershire sauce. That's what it is. I mean, it's a few more spices and stuff, but that's at its core what it is. But like people go crazy for Cane's because of the sauce. So I think like, and same with Chick-fil-A sauce, Wingstop with their ranch. It's just like, oh, you can only get this here.
Right.
We're the only ones that know how to make it. What?
No, but if it's just different though, like because those are just like side-ons where it's like, oh yeah, you can have this as like a thing to dip in. It's like we're gonna pour this all into a basket.
Yeah.
It's gonna be covered in it, and it's gonna taste delicious and yummy, like good.
Yeah.
And it's definitely playing off of the trends of like Buffalo Wild Wings and Wingstop, which are dominating because they have wings that are, drenched in sauce.
Yeah, with more sauce to dip in. So
Yes, exactly. So it just doesn't work for all these other places, I feel like. It's just too much. And it's not like good savory sauce either. It's sweet.
yeah, that's a lot of sauces. A lot of popular sauces are sweet. I wonder why that is. But I am I'm a sauce guy. I love sauce. I love dipping things. I'm absolutely. But it's just like, yeah, there is a point where it's just like, okay, you're just jumping on the bandwagon, and it's kind of tired at this point.
What do you guys think is the worst sauce?
Like just in all of fast food culture.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be a specific like cane sauce. It could be ketchup if you want.
It definitely wouldn't be cane sauce. That's like that sauce carries.
No, it's a great sauce.
I people are gonna hate me, but I'd venture to say, blue cheese sauce, blue cheese dip.
I don't hate you for that.
It's definitely showing my Hoosier, because outside of Indiana, nacho cheese dips aren't a thing apparently. For like breadsticks and pizza and stuff, that's I guess just a thing in Indiana. But outside of Indiana, it's blue cheese. That's the only cheese that pizza joints have and wing joints have.
That's correct. I still cannot comprehend that.
Blue cheese. I have always said this, and I will always say this. It tastes like a funeral. Blue cheese tastes like a funeral. It tastes like embalming fluid for a dead person. Like, it is just.
How do you know what
not
that tastes
good.
like?
So Ben, do you have anything you wanted to talk about with us that you don't like us? Because we've been dogpiling onto you the entire time.
I noticed that.
I wanted to give you, because I felt bad. I wanted to be like, okay, that's just mean.
Let's see. What do I not like about Dylan? Where do I start?
Let me look at my notes.
Let's see. Well, I know we talked about not doing odds, but there was an odds that Dylan had to do yesterday, and he didn't do it because he.
Okay, I'm mad at myself that I didn't do it, but here's the reason.
You didn't do
why.
it today either.
I know. I'm mad at myself for that as well, because I was also just like not thinking about it. But the reason why I couldn't do it yesterday, because the odds, it's a stupid one.
It's old. This is an old
it's
one.
an old
We're not
one
just.
that we didn't
We
do
just talked about.
honoring an old.
Yeah, it was honoring an old odds. It was to trip and fall at the Royal Rumble. That was it. And we had a perfect moment to do it. We were getting concessions. Yes. We were getting 3 drinks. And I was like, okay, it's just us. It's not my family around. Like, I'll just do it here.
He said, okay, 3, 2, 1. And then we hear something behind us.
We turn around and there was somebody on the ground. And at first I'm like, oh, it might be someone joking around because it's a wrestling event. Like they took a bump.
Yeah.
They had a sugar crash.
Yeah, they were a diabetic.
They were a diabetic who had a sugar crash.
Yes. And that was terrifying. And I felt bad because I was like, what can I do? Because I didn't know if he was having a seizure. I didn't know if it was a heart attack. I didn't know if it was diabetes. He was blinking. So that made me feel better because his eyes were open and he was blinking. But oh my God. So obviously, can you imagine if it's like, okay, now that's over with. Whoa!
My turn to fall.
Yeah.
They would have just thought you were making fun of him. So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But he was okay as far as I know. He ended up getting back up. They got him, like a Coke or something to sit
that
on.
was impressive. He got back up and then just stayed in line.
Yeah.
Better than what and that was the concession stand people, not Lucas Oil Stadium staff.
Yeah, he did have staff with him. But I felt bad for him because he did look shaken up and kind of just out of it after. He was just kind of like looking down at the floor. Just felt bad for him because I bet it was a mix of out of it, embarrassment, and pain because he hit the ground. I felt bad for him.
Yeah, the ground shook. Like, it was loud enough that you could hear everybody in the room talking.
Yes. But I'm hoping he's okay. So prayers for him, if you.
Yeah, but it's like, but also I now have learned that if a medical emergency were to happen to be at Lucas Oil.
Were you just trying to bait the foot fetish people with that? Or were you just stretching? Oh, okay. I just ruined it. We're good.
The camera did a little thing.
Yeah, it stopped. Okay, just a sec. Well, we got 15 minutes. We don't need
all right. So
second or anything.
We've been.
Where did we leave off? I know Ben was shaking his feet.
Yeah. I was trying to see if he was trying to bait the foot fetishes, but I think he was just stretching and cracking his knuckles. But hopefully, I mean, foot fetish. Actually, you know what? Let me throw him a bone.
Let's give him a lineup.
Oh,
yeah,
imagine my foot on your belly. Oh, what if foot fetishes were just people who like to watch feet trying to pretend to have sex?
I feel like that's I feel like out of all the fetishes you can have with feet, that is the farthest one.
There is
There's somebody.
Yeah, but it's like that is like the minimal culture.
Us doing that made somebody on Earth discover a fetish of seeing feet pretending to have sex with each other.
socked feet too. Because aren't there, from what I remember about when our episode came out, we found out that there's a specific fetish for feet with socks on.
And it was the playlist title was Men in Socks. That's what it was. So it was specifically men with their feet showing, but socked feet. Which is just, I'd rather it be them than some other weird fetish. Foot fetish is pretty tame when it comes to fetish, but
so many people have foot fetishes.
no, I don't get it. I just don't.
get
And
it
that's the
either.
thing. You don't get it if you don't get it. It's like a chemical thing, I think. But
But anyway, what were we talking about?
We were talking about the Lucas oil.
Oh yeah, this I remember what I was gonna say now. So I now also learned that if I ever had a medical emergency at Lucas Oil Stadium, I know my ass would be dead. I did.
yeah, but
If there wasn't good Samaritans around me at the very least.
and there were people yelling for medics. They were like trying to get so I think he said sugar, so they knew it was like a diabetes related thing. So they were trying to yell, and there was somebody who was like, "Can I just take this candy? I'll pay for it. I just need the candy right now." But then they ended up just giving.
And
him
the
a Coke.
concessions people were like, no, don't give him candy, give him soda.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, it's all good thinking, but the
Yeah.
Lucas Oil staff, they're like,
But do you guys remember how crowded those halls were?
oh, they are so crowded.
It was unimaginably crowded. And there were so many people in line for concessions. I can't entirely blame them.
And there was a huge line for the bathroom too.
Yes, there was.
It's just, I mean, that's 67,000 people,
Yeah,
all with
yeah.
the same track thought process of, oh, I have to go pee. Oh, I have to go
Yeah,
eat.
yeah.
Oh, I have to go drink. Oh, I have to go.
I still think it's so funny that the line was so long during that match. It was the tag team match. And then during the next match that had Cody, whatever, what's his last name?
Cody Rhodes and
Cody
Kevin
Rhodes.
Owens.
And yes, Kevin Owens. And we were rooting for Kevin Owens as far as I know, because I was personally. But that when that match started, I ended up having to, I finally was just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna use the restroom. Empty, not a single soul. There was one guy that went in before me. He left before me as well. So I was completely alone in the bathroom.
Which is crazy. Which shows that everybody else was like, okay, this is the boring tag match. Time
yeah,
to do what I need to do.
exactly. That's exactly what they were thinking. So kind of funny how.
Oh, and also one more thing we need to talk about Lucas Oil Stadium. So we got two things last night for food. We got, for the three of us, we got 3 large soft drinks. And then after the event, we got a meal. We got McDonald's enough to feed 4 people and then some.
Yeah.
How much do you think each was? I'll tell you now.
Wrong.
One of them was $30.40 and the other was $29. The one that was $30.40 were the 3 large drinks at Lucas Oil
The
Stadium.
most mid Coke. And I was sad because I remember last time I went to Lucas Oil, they served Keurig Dr. Pepper products, which includes RC Cola. That's the only cola that Keurig Dr. Pepper has. So I really wanted an RC, because when do you get to have RC Cola? Like, yeah, you can buy it at the store, but are you gonna? So I was really excited to have some RC Cola. Nope, they have Coke now. So 3 mid-ass Cokes. Tasted probably about as good as like the plastic bottle Cokes, I'd say.
Yeah.
And $30.
$30. And they also had the audacity to ask for a tip too.
Did they really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And I'm not kidding you. It was cheaper by dollars to get burgers upon burgers, nuggets, fries,
Yep.
a drink from McDonald's. That
2
is
apple
better.
pies, yeah.
Like
Yep.
all that meals probably could fed 6 people.
Yep.
And that was cheaper than
Yep.
just drinks. At
To
Lucas
be
Oil.
fair, I was using the app and we got like a deal or something, but the deal only saved like $3. So it was still around the same price. It was ridiculous.
But yeah, no. So the good tip is that if you're ever doing these events, eat beforehand.
Yeah.
Because it is not worth the money at Lucas
So,
Oil.
yep.
Yeah, you could get a little cup of peanuts for $6.
I just remember the quote. You can get a peanuts for $6. Who said, was it Ben that said?
Yeah.
I don't think that was the exact quote.
He was like, wow, a whole peanuts for $6.
That's what it was. Wow, whole peanuts for $6. And like
I said $6 for a peanut.
that's what it.
That
Yeah,
what
you're
it
right.
was.
You're right. And then like the dipping cups for like, you know, if you got chicken tenders or something, $2.50 per dipping cup. It's just it was just egregious. It was egregious. But overall, it's super fun. Looks was really fun. Indianapolis is kind of a depressing city generally, but it's very good at hosting things.
Yes.
They've hosted the All-Star Game, hosted the Super Bowl a few years back.
Let's see, Indy 500 hosts every
500.
single
Yeah,
year.
so they know what they're doing when they're hosting a lot of people.
Yeah.
Unless they don't have an Uber ready for you.
Yep.
Ready for you at the location of the event, then it's a bad city.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was even lying too, because even at the All-Star game when we were like literally minutes away from Gamebridge Fieldhouse, we still got an Uber. It took a minute, but we still got a fucking.
It took 15 minutes for it to get there, but it still got us right next to the Taco Bell Cantina, which we just walked out of.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, I think that really does it. Is there anything else we want to talk about before segueing out?
Just inconsistent set. I know we don't have a set for this, so just tell us how this looks. I got some cheap clearance lights from Walmart or whatever. I know it's nothing professional. It doesn't really have to be, but just tell us how it looks. Tell us how you think it looks. This portion of the video is in 1080. The previous portion was in 4K. I don't know what I'm going to render it as yet. But we'll
Probably
see.
1080.
Yeah, it'd be faster, but we'll see. But yeah, tell us how everything looks. Tell us how everything sounds. Tell us how the new podcast is generally. We hope you enjoy it. And this episode isn't like the most learny, but I think the in-person episodes are really going to be probably. So we'll see. Well, it's still developing and changing.
There's a lot more to come.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think
I think that does it. Yeah. Well, I'm Dylan.
I'm Ed.
and I'm Gabriel.
And we'll see you all.
Yeah, that was good timing. All right, bye guys. They can still hear us. Bye guys.